Okay, so in this video I want to talk about Thales, and obviously I also want to talk about Vatu and their connection and this kind of thing. So let's start. So obviously you can see some of their abilities that is very similar. For example, Vatu have two ways to teleport. Thales have two ways to teleport. His super move and his normal attack. And when he do his super move that you will see in this video, they're gonna come up some kind of pentagram. I don't know if it's called this way, but it's some kind of magical symbols come up when he teleport. The same thing for Vatu. So my speculation here, and remember, this whole video is as my speculation for the whole thing. And what I think here is that Vatu was Thales' mentor and teach Thales his abilities, because Vatu and Thales belong to the same race. Both of them are Scadrians. The difference here obviously is that Vatu is a classical ninja assassin, and Thales was a prince. And you can see a picture with Vatu and a little child, and we're speculating here that that little child with the toy in his hand is Thales when Thales was very young. So this is just speculating here that Vatu is his mentor or protector. But I don't. This is just what I think, because their abilities were similar. And if you look at Thales, for example, Thales and Maeve together combined to one is Vatu. So like a hybrid between Thales and Maeve is Vatu. These two characters is Vatu. So if you like to play, for example, if you like to play Vatu, if you like to, for example, to play like to play like Maeve, but you more prefer in some ways Thales teleport abilities, then you're gonna love Vatu, the new champion that will come out for Paladin. I think somewhere in May. First, obviously, gonna come out for PC, and then for consoles. They so yeah. I have to say, I have to be totally honest with this kind of thing. I have to say, Vatu was not really. When I see the gameplay review for him, I was not very hooked on that character because of uh, the the design and their ability. I think the ability was a bit too dry. I much prefer. I want to see some differences with like a shadow abilities instead. But the ability was much more like a classical ninja, like smoke grenade, smoke bomb, and throwing kunines and this kind of thing. And yeah, so I have obviously, like, if you come, what I mean with why I think Vatu's ability was a bit dry was because of if you compare them with the other champion that we have before Vatu, for example, Tiberius, Amani, Yagura, Vora, uh, Octavia, Atlas, is character with very unique abilities, like ability that you can revert time, bouncing effect with Tiberius Chakram, and you have Yagura. So for me, that was like almost like I feel in some ways that in some way I think Vatu was a step backward, not forward. So yeah, for me it was like really. I want to see. I want to see more. I think I really want to have different ability. I think it should be much cooler for example, if you can use like shadow clones and like shadow traps on the map. For example, if you step on the shadow, he gonna can attack you, and you're gonna be different ways to use shadows. Use shadow in different ways in his gameplay mode. I think that should be much cooler to see. For example, like Octavia. Octavia is looks simple, but Octavia's abilities are really cool. For example, her energy distortion shield that hide your allies, and then you can do different abilities with that. You can change it a bit, like that instead of they heal your allies in the same, like heal your allies, and if your enemies inside the distortion field they take damage, then you have the jumping ability that they are inspired from Tiberius, but the difference is here when she jumps, she stay in the air. Before she lands, you can use that in different ways. You can use that as a healing effect when she jumps and like water out come out from when she land, and this kind of means obviously all the champions in Paladin, the older champion, the newer champion are inspired from the old champions in Paladin. They take something from them, take something from them. For example, they use, for example, a combination. For example, you have Corbus teleport mixed with like to Corbus teleport, and you have Vatu's abilities and all this kind of thing in connection and combination with each other. And other thing, for example, you have one thing is good with Vatu's super move is that you can teleport and strike. For example, as same as Talus, so you can say that is Talus super move, but with one upgrade. The upgrade is that you can teleport up in the air and strike your opponent. For example, if Drogo's is in the air, or Amani is surfing on her ice surfing board, and this kind of thing. So you have abilities to combine, like for example, different Vatos teleport. Like you can teleport strike. His throwing kunai, you have like left hand one kunai throw, 3 kunais, but and this kind of thing. So it's like absolutely a connection between Talas and Vatu with their abilities. They feel somewhere similar, very very similar. For example, if almost like a almost like a ninja version of Talas in some ways. Is Vatu, like is a ninja version. And I don't say that just because they are the same race. I just say that because their abilities is very very similar. It's like if you take away Talas' gun, you give Talas Maeve's throwing knives, her throwing knives, and you make Talas grow up some years, be older, and then you have Vatu. So Vatu is Talas with Maeve's throwing ability. That is Vatu. If two characters together, it's almost like you put something in you bake a bread, and you have bacon and cheese. That is Vato and Maeve. Maeve and Talas. And I absolutely understand why they do that. It's not just Maeve and Talas that Vato is inspired of. The same for Octavia, inspired of Tiberius in one ability. You have, for example, not all champions are inspired. Some of them are unique. For example, like Tiberius are not inspired by anybody, because Tiberius, no other character have that ability that can jump that high or use that kind of. So Tiberius is very unique. There is a reason why I really like Tiberius, and the same for Amani. No other character use as a use. Oh, okay. Okay, here I'm gonna go. Okay, Amani use fire and ice, and we know that two other characters use fire and ice. We have Jin and the Ice Lady. So I totally forget her name. So obviously this is a combination between these two abilities for Amani. But the difference here with Amani is that Amani used it in a different ways. So this is one thing if you have similar element of the power, ice and fire. But if you have an ability that looks very similar, for example, if you look close to, like, example, Tiberius jump, and you look like Octavia's jump, the difference here is that Octavia can stay in the air and float when she summons in on some enemy with her marksman rifle, and yeah, and with all this kind of ability. So, and obviously Groot, I think his name is Groot, have similar, in some way, similar ability to Vora. The difference is here that Vora can use it much faster and much more precise with her swinging ability, like a Spider-Man rope kind of thing ability, and this kind of thing. And obviously Octavia also inspired in some ways of other character in Paladin, but she's like always like a upgrade. But for me, all of the character before Vatu was much more unique, because they still was in some way inspired of other champions in Paladin, but this in other way they also have more their own kit, their own playing style that is different from the other champions. And Vatu is too, for me personally, my personal opinion, Vatu is too similar to the other character, to Maeve and Talus. They have these two similarities, too much similarities. Okay, it's okay with some similarities, but this was too many things that put them together. Like I said before, take away Talus' gun, give Maeve's throwing knives to Talus, dress him in some kind of ninja clothes, and then you have Vatu. This is what I mean. The only thing that is similar with Octavia and Tiberius is their jump. Then it's totally different. But then they don't have anything that is similar to each other. If you, for example, if you take the girl that uses ice, and you have Jin that have a fire sword, the only thing that's similar there is both Amani use fire and ice. That is the only thing that is similar, because they have the same element. But their Amani's playstyle is totally different. And for example, you can also say that they have probably, I don't really want to say that, but I think they also take inspiration from Genji in Overwatch with Vatu. So for example, you have Maeve's inspired from Maeve with his throwaway, but the way how he holds his weapon is similar way how Genji holds his throwing stars. And that, I think, they're also a bit like similar. So you have Genji, Maeve, and Talus, all these three characters together in a big cauldron are Vatu. And this kind of thing, yeah. And so this is just my some talk about the new champion and some of their ability and all connection, all this kind of thing. So hope you like it. Okay.